Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, the second batch of the record breaker cards have released today, and we're going to go ahead and check them out, see what we're working with. For some specifics, we've gotten reviews for all of these cards. I still need to get my hands on Mbappe and David Silva, so we'll see what's up with that for later. But yeah, I want to see the new batch of cards. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be in the game yet. It is in the game. So there's Vardy, Van Dijk. Okay, so I probably have to go on Twitter to check this out then. So let's see what we're working with here. So we have the five players, which is Virgil van Dijk, Vardy, Donnarumma, Cesc Fabregas, and Carlos Vela. Carlos Vela would actually be a really cool first owner to pack just because of the MLS team, because there's some cool variables you can work with nowadays, especially with some of the cards that EA has already given us. So he could actually make for a very cool MLS player for sure. Van Dijk obviously is going to be an incredible center back. Lacks a little bit of pace, but makes up for it with his defensive AI because it's ridiculous. Jamie Vardy, Donnarumma looks like a pretty decent goalkeeper as well. And Cesc Fabregas actually looks like he could be a lot of fun to use. So what we're going to do here is we are going to check out these cards on Footbin and see what we're working with. So the first card here is going to be Van Dijk's card. So let's see what he actually looks like. So Van Dijk, for his record breaker, isn't even here yet. Interesting. So I would have to actually search it up on the actual game itself if anyone's actually ever packed the card. So we're going to go ahead and search him up. Vardy sometimes pops up actually. So what we'll do here is we'll search up for Van Dijk's card. There we go. And then we'll go to the record breaker and just do this all day until he's packed and see what his stats are like. The five cards look pretty cool though, man. They're not too bad. I wonder if Vardy's stats are already up. They're actually not. So with Van Dijk over here, we're taking a look at a card. How much does he cost? 1.7 mil. Wow. 1.7 mil for him. The design looks really cool, to be honest, right? But with this card, 73 acceleration with 80 sprint speed. This is obviously a card you always give a shadow chemistry style to, so he'll have 83 acceleration with 90 sprint speed, which is decent. You know, the acceleration is not that high, but the thing about this card specifically is that his body type, as well as his physical stats and defensive stats, actually make up for a lot on the card for sure, because Van Dijk just has very, very good defensive AI. He's got 81 shot power. He's got passing abilities as well with 90 composure. Dribbling on the ball is a little bit rough, but again, like I said, he's very, very solid defensively. If he had that little bit of extra pace, card would be absolutely nuts. I actually still prefer the Joe Gomez card. I wouldn't necessarily say over this one because I don't know what this one plays like in game, but the Joe Gomez card is really, really good because he already has all the base characteristics to make him a good card. He's just missing that Van Dijk body type, right? That body type makes a huge, huge difference. But this card definitely looks pretty cool for sure. Again, he has all the right stats in the right areas. 1.7 mil is kind of crazy for him, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, that's one card down. Let's go ahead and check out Vardy's card. Let's see if Vardy actually shows up here. They're not updating yet because I guess it's a little bit too early to see. So we'll just go ahead and search for the card on the transfer market here. Perfect. And then we'll just do this. And at some point he will pop up. So these are pretty cool cards. It's funny though, because a lot of these cards are actually very expensive and they're not necessarily full meta for the price that they cost. But the thing that I always say on this channel is that these cards are essentially really cool concept cards. That's what we like to call them over here. It's just nice concept cards, right? So we're going to go ahead and keep searching here for Jamie Vardy. He'll pop up eventually. It's still 9:27, so I don't expect people to be opening packs like crazy right now. Probably in a bit or a bit later they will. But you can see that the buy now price for Jamie Vardy is at 650k. So let's take a look at his in-game. So he has 92 acceleration with 89 sprint speed, which is already good for base card stats on pace. His shooting stats are at 97 attacking positioning, 97 finishing, 92 shot power, and 93 composure. This Jamie Vardy card, his team of the season or team of the year last year had really good attacking AI, right? So I can only assume that because the attacking AI has been improved this year, that he'll actually be significantly better, right? He doesn't have long shots, but he does have volleys and penalties with the composure already. So what's great about this card is that you don't necessarily need to improve the pace or the shooting, so you can actually focus on other areas of the card. What's strange about Vardy is that I still think that even with his shooting stats the way that they are, I still would give him a finisher chemistry style just because of the plus 10 for agility and the plus 5 for balance, as well as the plus 15 for dribbling. Yes, he doesn't really require all of the shooting boosts, but I mean, his pace is already pretty good. Does he have a 4-star weak foot nowadays? He doesn't. He's still a 3-star, 3-star. But 3-star weak foot nowadays is very different to how it was back in the day. So not necessarily a huge issue there. But it still looks like the card I would give a finisher to for sure, because I think his pace is already pretty decent as it is, and it wouldn't make sense to boost his pace even more unless you are only strictly going for those getting behind runs. So a very weird card because of the chemistry style for sure, but still looks pretty cool. What about a Deadeye on him? So a Deadeye would give him the shooting boost. Nah, it's not necessary. I don't think so. His base card stats for shooting is great. It's the dribbling that you have to improve the most, but a cool concept card for sure as well. The next card we have here is Cesc Fabregas, which, you know what? Because of the stats that they've given him, he actually looks like he could be pretty cool. So if we take a look at this card over here, you know what? That's actually not bad. That looks incredibly usable and fun, to be honest. Medium low work rates is very strange though, but the card looks great. So he has 85 acceleration with 75 sprint speed. This is a card I would still give a shadow to for sure. 100%. Let's see if they've actually updated the website yet, which they have not. Let's see here. So Cesc Fabregas original rating was a 75. Okay, okay, okay. So a shadow chemistry style would give this card a plus 10 for interception, so 79, plus 15 for sliding tackles, which would be really helpful on this card for sure. A plus 10 for standing tackles and a plus 5 for defensive awareness. The fact that his defensive awareness is already at a 76 is pretty decent because if you give him a shadow chemistry style, right, and he has 95 acceleration with 85 sprint speed, really good base card stats for shooting considering he is a center mid. Attacking AI looks like it could be decent, but I'm not 100% sure because of the medium low work rates. Passing the card is obviously phenomenal, and the dribbling in the center mid position looks pretty good considering he's a 5'10 player. He definitely looks like another very, very cool concept card for sure. So if you guys were to pack him and you're using him in like some sort of League One team and he plays for Monaco, then there's a couple of things you can do with that. Monaco, Spanish link, so definitely looks like a fun card for sure. It's good that his defensive awareness is already at a 76, and he also has 84 stamina, so it actually works really well for that center mid position, and he actually might drop quite significantly because there's obviously hype for the card right now. The next card that we have here is going to be Donnarumma. I think Donnarumma looks really cool. It's interesting because I was actually in my Twitter chat talking to people, and they were talking about how Donnarumma is still 21 years old. Like, this guy's been around for a while, you know. I think he started for AC Milan when he was like 16 or 17 years old, something ridiculous, right? And yeah, this card looks really cool too, man. So how much does he cost in the market right now? 130k bid. 130k bid. Yeah, he looks like a pretty cool goalkeeper card too. A lot of these cards, man, like, I wish FIFA was formatted a certain way because the first owner concept with these guys would be so freaking cool. Italian, AC Milan, there's Romagnoli that's out right now as a storyline. So even though Romagnoli's not like a meta card, he would still be pretty cool to have for this team. Imagine that storyline black card with like this Donnarumma red card. It would just look really cool in your team. And it would be usable, you know, it wouldn't necessarily be full meta. I think Donnarumma could be really good, but Romagnoli not so much. But his stats for goalkeeper looks pretty good because most of the times with goalies, you give them the basic chemistry style. So I'm not sure what his rare gold is like. I never actually tried out that card in the game. And then I think I'm missing one more person. There's who's the one person I'm missing here? It is going to be let's see what the vibes are. Oh, Carlos Vela. Yeah, the MLS links. I forgot about that. Carlos Vela looks really cool. Like, he looks really cool because I'm going to tell you guys something right now, man. I was doing the MLS objective for those cards before. 65k on a bid, 140. Yeah, he was being sniped at for 140. I think I'll settle a little bit lower for sure. But Carlos Vela's rare gold card, man, I kept telling people that, like, if he gets any sort of upgrade in this game, he'd actually be a ton of fun to use because I was using the Martinez card. Pavon was garbage. I didn't like that card at all. So I don't know if his base characteristics would ever translate well to a better version of his card. But Carlos Vela was definitely that type of card because if you take a look at his stats in the game, right? There's so many different things you can work with. Like you can give him a marksman chemistry style, you can give him a hunter chemistry style. There's no right or wrong answer for a card like this. Like he just looks really cool. I was using him in a 4-3-1-2 as my cam, and it worked really nicely because he has those high-low work rates, and because I usually like to use drift wide to get him behind for the types of strikers that I have, the way this guy just utilizes that middle space is great. And he also has the outside foot shot trait and finesse shot trait. So the fact that he has a 2-star weak foot is not a huge deal. Obviously, it'll be a nuisance from time to time, but it's not a massive deal. But those two traits definitely helps it out a lot. This apparently already has 2 owners. So this guy sniped it and then sold it right away. So probably lost money on this card. Doesn't even look like he played a game with it because obviously he couldn't by this time. If he did, he's an absolute monster. But yeah, man, some cool cards. I don't think any of them are really full meta except for maybe Donnarumma and Van Dijk. Van Dijk is still kind of slow for that full top tier meta, but they're still really cool cards to pack. So if you guys are doing the SBCs and whatnot right now, there's a lot of cool stuff to work with. We're back at 256k, which is great because I just did that Alessandrini card that was like around like 90k. So pretty cool stuff there. Probably gonna be working on some menu stuff. Gonna get some reviews out for some of these cards. I still have to get like Mbappe, David Silva, and then these new cards, but we're gonna see where what price they settle at for us to do those reviews. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see what the vibes are later today at 1 o'clock. Peace out, my dudes. Love you guys.